Hello everyone and welcome to the flipped classroom on object-oriented concepts. So today in the class we have discussed about exception handling technique. So we are using five keywords over here that is try, catch, throws and finally. So we have also seen how this try and catch blocks are used to handle the exception. So with one example we have seen this, and already we have seen what do you mean by multiple catch clause and how to handle the exception using multiple catch clause. So we have seen that example where we have handled multiple exceptions like arithmetic exception and array index out of all exception by using multiple catch blocks. So let us discuss with a new concept of exception handling, that is nested try statement. So we can handle this exception by three techniques. One is try and catch block, second one is multiple catch clause, and third one is this nested try statement. So as you know, the nested try means one try statement is present inside, another try statement is called as nested. So the try statement can be nested. So one statement, that is try statement, can be present inside another try statement, that is called as a nested try. So each time a try statement is entered, a context of that exception is pushed onto a stack. If the inner try statement does not have catch handler for a particular exception, then stack is unowned, and the next try statement's catch handler are inspected for the match. So here what happened is one try statement is present inside another try statement. So your compiler will push the inner try statement inside a stack. Okay. So as you know that one try statement contains one catch block. So consider inner try block will generate an arithmetic exception. Okay. So that should be handled by inner catch clause. So if that inner catch block is unable to handle that exception, then that exception will be thrown to outer catch block or outer try block. So outer try block is also contain outer catch block. Now it will check for that exception. If outer catch block will handle that arithmetic exception, then it is well and good. So it will print the message for you and you can handle your exception. If outer catch block is also unable to handle the exception, then your default handler, that is default exception handler, which is present in Java runtime system, that will handle your exception. So each time when one inner try block is encountered, so that will be pushed into a stack. So you know that try block will check for the errors or exception present in your code. So if any error or exception is there, then it will take that exception and it will throw it to inner catch block. If inner catch block is matched or if it handles the exception, then it is well and good. Then it is pushed into a stack. If the inner try block or inner catch block cannot handle this exception, does not have catch handler, or it will not, that catch clause will not handle that exception, then stack will be unwounded. That means the try block will be popped out from stack. Okay, and it will go to outer try block, that is next try statements, and then it will come to outer catch clause and it will check for the exception match. If that exception is matched, then outer catch clause will be executed. If nothing is matched, none of the catch clause will match for that exception, then it is a job of default exception handler to throw the stack trace, and default exception handler is present in Java runtime system. So this continues until one of the catch statements succeeds, or until all of the nested try statements are exhausted. So this process continues until one of the catch statement is succeeded, or until all of the nested try statements are exhausted. So you can see over this last statement, if no catch statement is matched, then Java runtime system will handle the exception. So default exception handler will be there present in Java runtime system. So that will take care of your exception when none of the catch block is matched. Okay, so consider an example. Look at this. This is an example for nested try. So I have written class nest try public static void main string array string args array. Now I have written one try block. So here I have taken one integer array int a is equal to args dot length, that is number of arguments, that is command line argument, length of the command line argument. So if a value is 1, that means I have given length 1 length. If a value is 2 means 2 command line arguments are there. If a value is 3 means 3 command line arguments are there. Okay. Suppose I have not given any command line argument, then the a value is 0. Now look at this, int b is equal to 42 by a. So it depends on the value of a. If I have not given any command line argument, then argument dot length, that is args dot length, becomes 0. So here it becomes 42 by 0. You know that 42 by 0 is infinity, that is an error, arithmetic exception error. So for this try block, outer try block, there is a catch block. Look at this. Okay, so this it will throw that exception, that is arithmetic exception will be thrown, and control will directly transfer out of try block, and it will come to the particular catch block which will handle your exception. So here it will handle this exception, arithmetic exception, and it will print the message, that is divided by 0 along with the exception object. So that is java.land.arithmetic exception. Okay, so this is about the inner try block. Look at this, I have written one more try block inside this try block. This is called as nested try, and for this try block I have written a catch block which handles the array index out of bound exception. Okay, so this is inner try and catch block, and this is outer try and outer catch block. Okay, since one try is present inside another try, hence it is called as nested try statement. Okay, I think you got this reason. Now consider I have passed one argument, I mean argument dot length is equal to 1. One argument, command line argument is passed, then it will come here. If a is equal to 1, so then a is equal to a divided by a minus a. So it becomes 1 divided by 1 minus 1, that is 1 divided by 0. Again it will throw arithmetic exception. Okay, when argument length is 1, when a value is 1, so again it becomes 1 divided by 1 minus 1, so it is 0. Again it will throw arithmetic exception. So control will transfer from this position to, first it will check for inner try block. Look at this inner try block, whether it is handling arithmetic exception. No, it is not handling arithmetic exception. Then your control will transfer to outer try block. Okay, outer try blocks catch block is here. Okay, now check for this whether it is handling arithmetic exception. Yes, it is handling arithmetic exception. So then it will print this message. Consider this outer try block is not handling arithmetic exception. At that time, so none of the catch clause is matched with that exception. At that time, your default exception handler will take care of your exception, and you know that default exception handler is present in Java runtime system. Okay, so now if a is equal to 2, that is when the argument length is equal to 2, when two arguments are passed, then int c array is equal to 1. That means the c array is uninitialized. Now I have taken one element of the array. So now the size of array becomes 1. So c of 42 is equal to 99. Look at this. In this statement, at 42nd position I am trying to enter, or I am trying to insert the element 99. That is not possible here because the size of this array is only 1. Okay, you cannot insert more than one element inside this C array. So at 42nd position you are trying to inserting this 99, that is an exception. So then it will throw an exception, that is array index out of bound exception, and it will come to this catch clause. So this catch clause will handle this array index out of bound exception. Okay, so this is the working of nested try statement. Okay, look at this. When you execute this program with no command line argument, that is a is equal to 0, then you know that it will throw an exception, that is divide by 0, and that will be that exception is thrown to outer catch block, that is outer try block catch. You can look at this. So this is a outer try block, and outer catch block is this. So this will handle your arithmetic exception. So when a is equal to 0, that is argument length is 0, no argument is passed, so it becomes 42 by 0. 42 by 0 means it will throw arithmetic exception. Next, execution of program with one command line argument. So then a is equal to 1. Okay, so it generates again divided by 0 exception, and This divided by 0 exception is not handled by nested try block. You can see at this nested try block, that is inner try block. So inner try blocks catch block will handle array index out of bound exception. It is not handling arithmetic exception. So when a is equal to 1, it becomes a divided by a by a, that is a minus a. That is 1 divided by 1 minus 1, so 1 by 0. Again it is throwing arithmetic exception. But this catch block is handling only array index out of bound exception, hence control will transfer to outer try blocks catch block. So it will come here, it will check for that exception whether it is handling arithmetic exception. Yes, it is handling arithmetic exception, and it will print the message. So if nothing is matched, this is also not handling, this is also not handling, then it is the job of default exception handler to handle this exception. Okay, next. Since the inner try block does not contain catch block for this exception, yes or no? So inner try block does not contain a catch block for arithmetic exception. It contains a catch block for array index out of bound exception. So then it is passed on to outer try blocks where it is handled. So it is passed to outer try block. So outer try block catch block is here. So it is handling arithmetic exception. So the control will transfer over here. Then it will handle arithmetic exception. Inner try block is handling array index out of bound exception. Remember this. Okay. Next. If you execute the program with two command line arguments, then it will generate array index out of bound exception. Here, if a is equal to 2, so then the size of array becomes 1, and at 42nd position I am inserting the element 99. So it is not possible, then it will throw array index out of bound exception, and that exception will be handled by this inner catch clause. Outer catch clause is handling arithmetic exception, inner catch clause is handling array index out of bound exception. Okay. You can look at this example over here for nested try block. So I will show this example. Look at this nest try, then public static void main string array. So a is equal to int a is equal to, inside try I have written int a is equal to args dot length, that is the length of argument, 1 argument, 2 argument, 3 argument, like this. So if no argument is present, then the length is 0. So it becomes b is equal to int b is equal to 42 by 0. That means it is an exception, that is a kind of arithmetic exception, and it will be thrown. So directly it will come to this outer catch clause, and it is handling the arithmetic exception over here. So it will print this message divide by 0 with exception object. Next, consider I have passed one argument. So a value becomes 1. So b is equal to 42 by 1. So no error is there now. So it will print the value of a, that is a is equal to 1. So after that it will come over here. If a is equal to 1, is a value is equal to 1? Yes, a value is equal to 1. Then a is equal to a divided by a minus a. What is the a value? 1. 1 divided by 1 minus 1. Again it is 1 divided by 0. 1 divided by 0, again it leads to arithmetic exception. But this inner try block, yes or no, this inner try block is handling which kind of exception? It is handling array index out of bound exception. So your control will check for this exception, but this exception does not match with array index out of bound exception. Hence, your control will transfer to outer try block. Okay. So again, outer try block will have this catch, and this catch is handling your arithmetic exception. Remember this. Okay. So now it will print the message divide by 0 with the exception hand object. Okay. So this is a case with nested try block. Next, if argument passed is 2, length of argument is 2, then int c is equal to 1, that is one element of the array. Now the size of this c array is 1. So I am trying to inserting this 42nd element at 42nd. I am trying to insert 99 value at 42nd place. So that is again impossible. So then it will generate array index out of bound exception. So which catch clause will handle this exception now? Yes, it is inner catch clause which handles that exception, array index out of bound exception. So then it will print this result, array index out of bounds with exception object. So when I execute this program, you can see over here cd java. So java c, file name is nesttry, nesttry.java. Okay, no errors. So I will execute without giving any command line argument. So that is a is equal to 0. Then definitely it will throw array, that is arithmetic exception. You can look at this exception, divide by 0, arithmetic exception. So I will give one argument.